Hello, and welcome to the healing place. This time we're going to take a look at and see how third-party energies are, what things we can do to be able to polarize the connection so it can work more so towards us having union and working more so into I wouldn't say our favor, but more so as far as it giving us a more of a leg up or a step up into the next step of union for manifestation. Hello, Divine Sunshiners. I pulled some cards today about the energies that I am feeling. Where we are, the Divine Masculine is having growing pains about really truly having to grow up spiritually and mature. These are tests that you've already had before. These are the tests that you kind of maybe failed before. These are the tests that saying, hey, this is the moment you've been prepared for. Now let me see how you're going to be able to handle it now. Clear. YouTube channel. All right, see you in a few. Benefits. So the story is still from your ancestors. It's still stored in your body. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. The first, what pretty much had catalyzed this is that I was watching YouTube and I had seen the man had put up there, it says, when a man is dealing with two women, he'll always stay with the one who has a weak mind, which was interesting because it made me think about what is it that as twin flames, what can we do in order to polarize the situation to shift majorly into union, as far as in physical union, or actually the person being with you and being only with you. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that. See you in a few. Hi, I want to welcome you to take my course on the 7 Deadly Sins Twin Flame course. This is very essential, and if you're having questions and don't know what's going on with your journey, why you're hitting pitfalls, and why are you missing the mark, taking this course will help to give you a lot of information and a lot of answers in which you are seeking. This Sunday, I want to invite you to please come and be a part of it. This Sunday, we're going to talk about the next sin, which is on envy. We talked about envy, but we're going to talk about gluttony, on this next one. So I want to welcome you to get more in depth about the understandings of the different 7 deadly sins and how is it affecting you on your journey. If you're interested in being a part of it, I will still hold the $77 for you to join the course. Again, it's 2 hours. It's a Zoom meeting in which it will be a 1 hour content and 1 hour Q&A and just talking about the subject of the topic that we talked about that day. Also, it's at 6 p.m. Central Time as well. Go to Divineunisouls11.co to be able to go and enroll. All right, then. I'll see you in class. Hello, and welcome back. And just wanted from my commercial break about my course to welcome you. All right, then. So let's start about the third party energies. And let's just really unpack and see what is it that we need to learn. What is it that we need to see about the karmic lessons, which is, again, what we need to change as far as get on track, some things we need to change, how life is going to change, what things we have to surrender. And let's look at about what's the shadow. Okay, so now the overall energies of this here when we talk about the third party energies as well, which is another energies that's in it, whether it's a person, place, or thing. Doesn't have to always be a person that's involved. Sometimes the job can be that. Like in my case, the job could also be the they go conflict. They could cause the conflict for the connection as well. Okay, so right now here what it is financial constraints for third party energies and angel of balance. When I look at these two things, when I see here overall, the overall energies and why it's in there, is because, again, it's the idea of what abundance and finances is that that's the idea of thinking, again, that if leaving this person or leaving this job, this person, place, a thing, is going to cause a financial restraint where it's like the cupboards are bare and there's not going to be any money. And it's got to be, it's 13 here, it's got to be a death to that thought there. It's got to be also a rebirth that must have happened too as well. That again, you know, like some people say, as long as I got you, I'm rich. So as long as I know in this I have you, that means I have everything, or even though I'm talking about myself, I have everything. This is what's very important. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we got almost like a leveling here too. The next card here is Angel of Balance. And angel to me would be, in order to be divine. To be divine, we've got to find that balance in both of the energies, whether it's the feminine or the divine masculine energies. Divine feminine energies is about being or observing, seeing about the actions, but not labeling it of our counterparts, not judging what it is, because once we start judging, we start labeling it, and we start making it seem like, again, we're buying into the illusions, and then we limit it. And when we start labeling things, we start, again, separation, because we're saying what it is, and that's an issue. Something about, again, I'm looking at these Egypt, about our structures, the pyramids that are being used there. So the structure in which we have, like either systems or ideology or beliefs or anything like that, that's ancient. To me, it's like that's the ancient past. We can look at it just like the pyramids in Egypt. We look at it and wonder and say, how did it come about this way? Some of the things in which we say that might be, again, from family dynamics. How did it come? How did it build up this way? The structure and the system of things. It happened before I was even born. It was always like this. And this is something that we got to learn how to look at, kind of dissect, learn from, seeing what we need to rebuild and to be able to change on that. Okay? Excuse me. One dog is in heat. Excuse me for that, if you're seeing that back there. So, this is, again, what we have to... oh my God, excuse me for that, my children. So anyway, one thing that you have to keep in mind is understanding that we have to keep balance and get more or less away from the illusions of the moons that's going on in the back, in the background. Okay, so what is it when we're looking at, now there's threefold questions, and you know I always like for you to be able to take that introspection look at yourself. So when we're talking about the self, okay, that's all right. Looking at self, and this could be the person who is the counterpart, or it could be you when we're talking about in this. When usually, if I'm talking about you, I'm talking about the counterpart. That's usually how it goes. It goes together. Okay, just one card, please. What is it that we need to, that's the overall energies, but what is it that we need to really be studying as far as healing of self in this dynamic of this situation? That's not it, that's a random. So some things in order for us to really be checking out and seeing about this self thing is for us to really start looking at, in an ideal world, what would be, what would we be doing more of? So again, this to me is about this financial constraints. It's something about in this 3D party thing that is scared to go ahead and do what they want without the limitations of society, the limitations about being in this world, and the issues of the limitations that the world put on us that we feel like we have to adhere to. And so in an ideal world, that means in our world, like if we didn't have the limitations, of course, yes, we would probably be saying I would be with my twin, you know, or the counterpart would not be even in that situation in the ideal world. And so this is what it is like also is asking you and the divine counterpart, like, are you really living up to your ideals about who you are and what you should be doing? Too, as well. How do you know when I'm really listening to you? So right now, this here, those is in third party energies, situations, is saying again, are you really listening to self? That's both of you all. Are you really listening to yourself about its wants, its needs, how it wants to go about doing things? Are you really, and then how does it show up that you're really listening? Well, again, remember that the twin flames, we are mirroring each other. So that means that we are going to be seeing what we are thinking about or really doing or thinking about doing. It's going to show up in our twin and their actions, what it is, what we're deficient in, what we need to be doing. I was talking to Sean, he was saying now about that asymmetrical effect, which is, again, what's happening on one side is happening on the other side, a symmetrical effect. And so this is something that they're saying that right now is about listening. Am I listening even to the 3D as far as what the 3D wants version in this, as far as us in this connection? Or am I listening to myself as far as what I actually want is to this connection? Or if I turned it off and say, hey, it ain't no time for that, I can't deal with that right now. If I listen to myself and what it really wants, I'll probably be bankrupt. You know, she don't want me or he doesn't want me, whatever like that. Because sometimes they're saying about what you're doing, if you listen to yourself, it'll help to really balance you. In what ways do you feel you heal me? So it's really the saying, when you're looking at your counterpart, even though they're in this situation, how is it healing you? Meaning, how is it making you feel better? Are you learning the lessons that you should be by seeing your counterpart in this situation, or them vice versa looking at you and saying and looking at you in the situation too as well? So, you know, and how is it healing you? Healing you to me is meaning you make yourself better. Right now you're in pain that you don't know. There's some wounds that you have, okay, that you need to heal from too as well. And being in this dynamic of this relationship helps you to understand who you are. In what ways do you think I heal others? You know, this is the time, as far as, again, in this third party energies here, that spirit is saying, again, in order to heal self, we got to look at, again, how the dynamics of your counterpart being in this situation is healing the connection, is contributing to the connection. We have to look at seeing about how is it that maybe the things that's playing out in your third party energies that's going on, how is it reflected back to you about some areas that maybe you didn't think about that you needed to heal as well. And it's just really overall saying it's not about you in the journey, but again, always as twin flames of light workers, you know, what we're doing and helping to shine might help others to be able to make that decision too as well. You know, because I think about even with me in the situation, career-wise, and thinking about changing and doing that stuff, you know, a lot of people might be shocked and say, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. But I think it also might be a catalyst to others seeing me do that, to say, hey, you know what? I wasn't happy in my career either, so I think I'm going to make this jump as well. You don't never know how your decisions help others too, because the job has become the karmic situation. You know, in some ways, it's a lot of learning process. The thing is do I like the lessons that is being learned? Do I feel like it really fits me as being my lesson that needs to be learned? Have I gotten it? And I'm saying I'm ready to move on and learn from someplace else. That's the same thing that we're talking about this. So in what ways do you think I heal you? And in some kind of way, as far as like by me being in the situation, the divine counterpart is saying how is it helping you to heal that father wound? Because a lot of things is playing out in those third-party energies are things that happen maybe in your childhood, some bad relationship, some kind of relationship with someone. So it comes out to play again. So that's what that is about right now in the third-party energies, okay? And that's what we got to really look at, okay? So now, as we look at it from that point, What is it that the angels are saying as far as us in the romance, which is about love? What is it that we have to, in this third party energies, have to deal with? I seen it and then I pushed it down. Okay, so what we are dealing with, and I'll do it in order that I pulled the cards, is understanding that, no, this came out first, and then this came out second. Understanding divine timing. Again, I know we dread it, we hate when we hear it. Like, really, 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 really. That, yes. Understanding is worth waiting for. I think over time, and in some ways, again, with having more time being involved in that, we start to really truly learn the value. The word worth jumps off this card for me, which is meaning that, again, we're learning our worth, our value. Maybe in our childhood, something had clicked for us. Maybe the father had put us down, and the mother had put us down, or somebody in our childhood or early past had put you down, and you're questioning your own worth. By being in the, and letting time be involved, it's almost like they're telling me, I'm feeling them saying, it's like a fine wine. You age over time. The more that you're in it, the more that you season, just like marinating of meat and other things, or vegetables, or whatever, it floats your boat. The more you sit in it, the more you become of it. The more, some of us, if we would jump into the relationship before this third party energies came in, we would not have really absorbed our weight in gold, I guess so, or our worth, knowing truly what our value is. Anything could come along and could knock us off and to trigger us and to create that laminar flow to get off balance, moving from, the flow into transition, and then move transition into turbulence. And when you hit turbulence, it's kind of hard to get that back into that flow. This is where we are as far as understanding our worth, and that is waiting. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Some things have to be worked out. The next thing is, this came in reverse, which means this really wants to be emphasized, or we either working towards that. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. There's a decision that has to be made in these third-party energies that's going to have to help to make this a major shift. I seen something on the video and said in some ways, and it might have been also in my readings too as well, where it seems like that both parties are really waiting for something else to create this shift. Again, faith without works is dead. You feel like you have faith in that this is going to happen, you and the person coming into union, but you got to do some kind of work. In order for you to shift the energies, you've got to do some things in order to create the shift. No, I studied last night and I said I was going to pretty much do something on there where it's a type of something like force, movement type of energy. This is the energy that you've got to kind of connect to in order. They say very soon. Because right now we're going into the new year. You know, some of us say, I've been at this quite a while. And in order for you to create that shift, and you want to stay in insanity, which means to keep on doing the same things the way you have been doing, then continue to see that yourself is going to be staying in that state. Unless you decide to do something that is going to create that major shift. How can you do it? You got to create movement and momentum. You got to move it, and you got to, momentum means you got to keep on at it and doing it. For the next thing here is, because right now there's some things that needs to reconciliation. Now reconciliation could be not only between the twins, but there might be some reconciliation. Now I'm picking up this saying about soul contracts, that while you're in the third party energies, again, person, place, a thing, why this is playing a role in what's going on. Also understanding that it's got to create this space. Now I was listening to, I think, Eckhart Tolle today, and he was talking about relationships. And how relationships, you got to create that space. And you got to create that space. He said, not that space, not just even physically, doing that, but you got to create that space internally, that you're ready to receive someone in your space internally, inside, for you to be able to receive them. That reminds me of two things. One thing April was saying, move things and create a room there for physically for my DM so he could feel like he's welcome and I got a place for him. I'm also reminded, like a lot of times with Cassidy, Twinflames as well, she has 1111. She has a meditation where you take the elevator, you go down, and you go to this floor. And when you open up the floor, there's like 2 seats sitting there. And when your 2 seats are sitting there, you sit down in a seat, and you kind of say, I welcome for my divine counterpart, a twin, to come sit with me. Which is, again, you're in some way saying the chair represents that you have created space for your person to come. And this is what they're saying here to me about this reconciliation. You got to kind of get rid of something. That's them 16 hefty bags that I'm always talking about, to create that space so that your person or this very thing that you want in creating this better connection of third energies as well, that you can be able to create that shift so that this newness or this what you really want to come into manifestation or fruition has a space for it to come. Because they say someone from the past, this to me it seems like something again is coming back to return. You're good. Or I think about in the Bible it say the God returned all the years that the locust has eaten. Some of us have felt like it has been. It's been kind of some years or a period of time where it seems like everything has been taken away. This again, creating this space and letting them know that, hey, these things are on their way to returning. The love that you wanted, or the job that you wanted, the career, the mission, or whatever is here. Because they're saying here now with this involves a wedding. This involves a very serious commitment. And in order for this to really happen, there's got to be some 16 hefty bags that's got to be gotten rid of. Some templates, some old templating that's happened from ancestors, some old beliefs from society, your own things, or things that you have learned, some things from childhood wounds that has, so that we can really create that all right in my soul. It is well in my soul. Which means that to me, it brings on union. It's like no matter what happens, I'm all right. And so this is what they're saying right now for the third party energies here, is that again, and I'm getting another fork in the road, not only serious commitment with your person, but it's calling for a serious commitment in the rest of they say keep them home. Right, in order to keep them home, but it's also creating a serious commitment for you to stop being wishy-washy or willy-nilly about what you really want. Because as the card said earlier, are you listening to me? How are you healing from this? How is other people healing from this? The karmic themselves, how are they healing from this? Are they really learning, hey, I want true love of my own so I can be able to check out of this? Or people on the job saying, hey, I see her leaving, I guess I'm going to leave too, because now I'm understanding I love myself. It doesn't matter about this job. So those are the things that they're asking you to look at. So now let's look at what some questions that we should ask ourselves in the connection with the divine feminine, divine masculine, and the connection and the union with it that's going on inside of you. So you could say the 5D relationship if you want to. Anything on the spiritual. Okay, let's look and see. So what are some questions we should be asking ourselves? There we go. One card did it on this one. Do your best impression of me when I'm happy. Can you see it? Maybe if I do it this way, it's kind of, there we go. Well, it's kind of hard. I've got to put my hand behind it. Let's see it. I had to do it last time. There we go. Do your best impression of me when I'm happy. Okay, so what does that mean? That tells me that right now it's almost, now I wouldn't say fake it till you make it, impress. You know, your divine counterpart to me does press upon an imprint. And in a lot of ways, again, through reflection, you are reflecting each other. To me, impression, again, is about what's that stamp that your divine counterpart left on you. What can you take from that that's going to help you to remain happy, knowing that you're connected, like I have made an imprint on your soul. Impress, what things have they done that has made you feel good about yourself, to impress and say, okay, I think maybe you are growing. I'm seeing some things changing over there. What are some things that you can see within yourself that you can shift over to the connection to your counterpart, that they can feel, that they feel like I can mimic and try to do that over on my end? And what are some things that you see or feel from your divine counterpart that you can also take that on as your own? So in the connection, you know, it's a swapping. It's like a gift of energies. They are us. We are them. We are us. And some ways I think we have to kind of hold on to and look more towards the good or the better times, as far as, like they say, what makes me happy when I'm happy. It's like, see me in that light, because when you see me in that light and you're working with that type of energies about the last time, like when I was happy, that helps me on the other side of the infinity sign. Remember that too, that I am truly happy when I'm with them. Now, if you say, well, I've never met my person, you know, how can that be able to do that? But again, like I say, you are your other person. You are them. So think about some times in which you were happy. And then that's going to help also the connection as well. Okay? So that's one way for, again, the divine feminine, divine masculine energies inside. What has happened? Have they sent you a song, made you feel happy? Did they send a sync? Or somebody said the name, or you read something, or somebody did something, or their number came up? You know, hold on to those things. Because to me, what they're saying is that's a way of letting me know that I'm still with you, that we're still connected, that you're still thinking of me, you know. So think of it in that way, that form. What is, okay, so now let's look at the, oh, that was Selfedition. Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. So that one, the last one, I did it opposite. Healing the land. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That one is Selfedition. Is this one for couples? Hold on. Selfedition, that's that one. This is not for couples. Is this couples? Okay, so that helps you as far as on the 3D level to kind of keep you stay connected from that last one, what I talked about. Okay. We did the couples editions. To me, that's again, that's in, so within, so without, how it's able to be able to really show that one. Now let's look and see. Whichever way I said it, that's fine. Okay, let's look at karmically. What is the lesson being learned in this 3D? Use my karmic tool. What's being help us is to understand compassion about this, okay? That's a lesson. Empathy and kindness. No matter how you might view, because these are my karma cards, the karmic situation, person, place, or thing that's doing that, and it seems like it is robbing you or depriving you from life force or from life energy or having life. Like you say, this gives me life, and it's not giving you life. Still, you need to find ways to be able to have compassion, because again, like Kathy D, we have talked about that, we've asked for those karmics, whether you like it here or not, so trigger warning, to come in to help, because there was some area in which we were not able to help our counterparts grow. Another thing is that currently what we're trying to learn from this third party energy is that, again, love conquers all. Enduring loyalty, internal love, lasting commitment, and that came out earlier. That is the karma that we learned. That is the lesson that we've got to learn from this. Being compassionate about the twin being in the situation, being compassionate about the karmic situation, person, place, or thing, being compassionate for yourself as well as being in the situation, because you have to do a lot of talking to yourself, but understanding that at the end of the day, love conquers all. You're going to love. You're going to win. No matter who I love, or when it happens, as far as the love thing, understanding is still, we are setting forth the intentions that we're going to love conquers all, regardless, okay? So for now, again, I got this lone wolf understanding. Again, wolves can be by themselves, but they also like to be connected. They can lead the pack too. They are born leaders. So understanding that in this connection of third party or third energies, that understanding that there's a part of you that needs to be owned by themselves, and then there's a part of you that say, yes, I got to become a leader, and there's a part of you that wants to connect. You got to kind of find balance in all of those, okay? Okie dokie. That was that one. All right. Let's go on to the next one. So those of you all that is watching, I said that was self. But that first one that I talked about was really about the connection. But that's interesting that they did it that way. Okay, so now, let's look and see what you as the viewer, what could we be doing, working upon to create this shift to happen. I see it. Oh, love it. So what you need to look at is this. What are, can you see it? What are the 3 biggest differences between who I am now and who I will be? So to me is you got to look and just think about what are 3 things about who you are and who you want to be. Who you are now and what you want to be. Think about those 3 things. So Spirit is really saying, again, the overall thing is like where you are now is temporary. This is not the end all or, the final destination for you as well. You've got to also stop you being present. They're saying that too. But you can be present, but still set the intentions or the programming for your subconscious to know so consciously that when you are acting out things in the world, you are doing that programming. I want to be married, okay? I want to be a mother, okay? I want to have a successful business. Subconsciously, again, although I'm in the present, I'm already seeing forth what I want to be in the future. Okay, and I'm not going to sit there and twiddle my thumbs. I'm not going to keep on doing. I'm going to consciously, I set the subconscious, the program to start looking for those things. But consciously, I'm going to be acting and being in that state in the now. So I'm going to be that wife, or I'm going to be already successful. I'm going to act that way now. And this is what they're saying. What are the 3 biggest differences between who I am now and who I will be? Maybe those 3 differences is that, again, I got to believe in myself. I got to stop with this imposter syndrome, because if I want to be a successful person, a business person, I got to start believing that, hey, what I'm doing on this channel is good and very good. And there's nothing for me to be second guessing myself about, okay? Or if I'm saying about the wife, okay, well, I just got to start acting as if that. When people come and ask me about going out on dates, if that's what I want and my mind is dead set on the one, then I had to follow suit in that way. No, okay, thank you, that's nice, or you know, whatever like that. I got to start acting as if I'm already connected, you know, or if you're at that place or whatever like that. We're third party. I'm just gonna keep it that way. So you do whatever it is on your end, because I could try and go in so many directions with that as well. But again, if that's what you want is being connected, then you got to start acting like that. Which is, you can start with the basis, which is with yourself. Take yourself out on dates, doing things that you love, spoiling your own self, you know, so that when the person does come along, that hey, they just got to fall in line, understanding that I am love. I don't need to have anybody else that. So I act as if I'm love, so that I can be able to attract and receive that. So this is what they're saying here. So what are some things that we have to deal with ourselves, person who is viewing this right now? What is it that you have to do? So let's look at the shadow work that we have to do, okay? This came out before, this revenge here. So to me, again, the revenge can go in so many, like I'm doing in the class. Revenge could be about the envy, the jealousy. Things to me about revenge is like you do something and I got to get you back. We've got to be in the point of a state of unconditional love. I even talked to myself today. I say I got to be like God. You know, I get angry at some things, but then at the same time, I've got to be able to practice forgiveness too. Not to be no welcome mat, just forgive the act, but still I can remember about what happened so that I'm not doomed to repeat the lesson over again. And so with that revenge there, again, it's always feeling like it's got to be tit for tat. I got to get back. And so we shouldn't come from that point, even with this third party energies or things that's been done to us in the karmic situation, person, place, a thing, that we have to get back. Making sure that within ourselves, are we doing things for ego, or is it because I feel like, again, it's righteous anger, which means it's justified that I'm angry about that. But the way I'm going back at it, or my reactions, or instead of me reacting, I should be responding to it. And not in a hurtful way, you know. And so we got to watch that, the revenge thing as well, because that's interesting. Somebody said something, well, you should just do X, Y, and Z. And I was like to myself, like, oh yeah, I guess I could do that. But then lo and behold, here in the city, they shut down our access to those who are vaccinated or not vaccinated, to not be able to, those who are not vaccinated, not to be able to go to indoor bars, restaurants, any of that sort. So I was like, okay, interesting sorts, cut that out. So it has a way of, again, revenge don't need to. You know, they said in the Bible, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. Let source go ahead. They can handle it much better than we can. So forget about that, get back. How you can really get somebody back is what? Be successful. Be the best version of yourself. I know that's, again, like Michelle Obama said, when they hit low, you go high. But that's what we have to do in these situations. So that's what they want us to do. Work on that. Always swore. Find a way to get back. You know, okay, well, if he ain't doing that, guess what? I ain't even responding back to his text. Or whatever he do, you feel like you've got to come back to it. Sometimes say, just let it be and let source handle that. I'm not even going to come back on that. That's on them. Let source teach them the lesson. Okay? So that's one way of looking at that. What things do we need to surrender? I see Pum Pum. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. And that's true. It's the same thing, like I said, what you're doing, even as you want revenge. By me doing X, Y, Z, okay, I got you, boo. I can show you better than I can tell you. So you going in there with that kind of attitude, and before you know it, bam, bam. You're in trouble more so than the other person. But if revenge is that way of saying you can fix someone. I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you. You don't mess with me. Oh, no, you don't mess with me. I'm going to show you. So this is another way, again, that we have to surrender that. Because showing them and doing revenge, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you, is another way you're trying to fix them. Okay? So they say it is time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Okay? So that's what you need to do with that. What is the slight changes that we need to establish in this third energy? Healing from the past that came up before. Now, this could be also like past lives. It could be the past about you and the twin, how they were acting, or experiences at childhood. Hey. No, we ain't doing that. No. I don't know what my dog likes to eat the wall. I don't know what that represents. Don't have a clue. Excuse me for hollering. So, again, healing from the past. These are a lot of things that are coming up. There's wounds that needs to come up because, again, like was said by Eckhart Tolle, we got to create that space. And if we still holding on to things in the past that happened to us or we thought they happened to us, we had to make sure that we understand that we got to let it go. We got to heal from it. We got to deal with it. We got to do forgiveness too as well with it. Okay? All right. So once we do that, we're going to create that major shift. Because in some ways, by them saying, I hear them saying, by you tied to the past and thinking about the past, you held back into the past, which means you can't move forward to the future, which goes back to that question which asks, what are the three biggest differences between who I am now and who I will be? Because again, if that past is affecting you, it's affecting you in your now, and it's going to affect you in the and next going. Okay? All right, so now, let's go to the next thing. So now, what are some things that you need to, as your divine feminine energies that's watching this? Ooh, it went back. That we need to heal from. It's 2. Divine feminine energies, that means as the observer and just being and spirit of being. We need to heal confusion. I take responsibility for my own decisions that contributed to challenging situations. That is something in which I'm introspective of, and I would say even Sean Barker is helping me too as well to see what's my contributing factor to the situation, the third energies. What am I contributing? Because I can't continue to keep on saying that it's one way. This is only a one-way situation that's going on. That's not it. I am too, because you got the infinity sign, which means if I'm doing something, then I'm kicking that energy over on their side, and they're kicking it back to me on my side. And so this is a shared energy that has to do with it. I want to say about the confusion is about, again, the connection, the worth of the connection, the confusion about what your worth is, the connection with yourself, your person, and the world is affecting all of it. Excuse me, the camera had cut out, so that one. So we got to cut the confusion on it. You know, if this is the person that I'm going to concentrate on as my twin, then let's concentrate on that. Because I always say, hey, anything that you do is not a waste. So, like, even with me in my situation, I say, okay, thinking about, leaving the job or whatever like that. Either way it goes, everybody's going to learn something from it. And I'm going to learn something from it. And if go or whatever, that's where in which my energy flow, and that's where it seems like that's where I'm needed at that point. I think a lot of times some of us are kind of scared to really invest ourselves into this one person because, again, and that causes confusion because now you're looking at, is it him? Is it her? Is it her? Is it you? Is it that way? And again, That just came to me. When you all over the place like that, to me that again is a question about your own worth and value. Going back to that, and they just hit me with that idea, which is again, you're saying you're not picking your person means you don't really pick yourself. And it's like if you was in a brawl or in a fight like that, and you like, who gonna have my back? And you picking yourself, it's like, me, here I am. And it's like, no, I'm gonna take you. And so that's the same thing when you're doing with your person. When you pick other people, that just tells really that you're not really choosing yourself. You don't trust yourself, not self-worth. Don't shoot the messenger. That just came to me. I said, oh, interesting concept. But it is. You know, some of our counterparts are not. So, again, when they're in the third-party energies and they're in a party, not energy thing, third-party energies, and they're with that other person, what they're doing is, and we have said that before, is denying themselves. They're denying about them listening to what they actually want, how they're going to go about getting what they want, to be able to look at the person, here I am now, to where I want to be. So this is, again, when you're doing that, is really nothing but is someplace in your area as the person on the other side that you're denying or you're rejecting. And you don't believe that you can really, truly be supported. Not even with yourself. There's some mistrust there too. Okay, so they say cut the confusion on that one. Take me or leave me. Wild woman. So in your divine feminine energies, you got to be all right with you being a little bit off left of center. Okay, you got to be all right with the abandonment, and you doing things with wild abandonment. It doesn't matter, because again, if it's satisfying you and it's helping you to be, and that's who you are, expressing yourself at that moment, then that's fine. Again, divine feminine energy is the observer. I'm doing things, but I'm not judging it. I'm not putting a title on it, because that creates separation within myself. And then it calls separation in the connection as well. So that's the energies for that. In your divine masculine energies, what you have to do, clear, okay. Whoa, it's a lot. Which means in our actions, divine masculine in our actions, okay, standing in our authority, standing in our power about some things, is bottom line oriented. So the bottom line to me represents that, again, like they said, where you want to go. Bottom line, the intentions. The bottom line is that I want to be with my person. I'm beyond want. I'm going to be with my person. That's the bottom line. Now, how it's showing up, these obstacles, these illusions, the other things. Hey, this is Earth. This is a teachable planet. Things are going to come to teach you. Ask for the universe that when it comes, is to make me better and points me in the direction of me being with my person. Okay? So you set forth the intentions. Again, it's out there. So you got to get to the bottom. What's the bottom line? What do you want out of life? That's the bottom line. And then in your actions, show it and go after it and do it. Okay? And stand in your authority that that's what it is. Again, narcissist, self-love. So to me, it is learning, as the Ace of Cups, filling your own cup in your divine masculine energies, finding ways in which you are actually doing these things in the 3D. Self-love, take myself on a date, okay? I'm eating things, I'm going to treat myself to a cupcake because I've been having a taste for a cupcake for a long time. Going and doing that. Doing things, taking time out, telling people no, setting boundaries. Those things. I took the class, Stephanie Gibbs did a nice little workshop about that, what you define, what self-love and self-care. I said self-love is being. That's what I told her my answer. Self-care is the action. So in order for you to have that self-love, again, knowing that I am love. And since I am love, I'm attracting my person to me right now. because I am love. I am true love. And somewhere within them, although they might feel like they're not worthy or not on the same level, or some within them is, again, like I said earlier, that's causing that conflict where they're thinking, again, the confusion about who I am and my worth and my value, because I feel like that's where we end here too as well. Understanding that, that's going to help, and showing that in our actions, standing our powers in that as divine masculine energies, that will help. Not the narcissistic way, because again, some of us are in these situations, are doing these things because, again, of ego, edging God out, edging source out. So you don't want to be able, you won't want to be in that position. Giant conflict. So right now, divine masculine energies, they want you in the divine masculine energies to handle this giant conflict. The conflict that's going on of you not going after or listening what you want. What has yourself been telling you? Have you really been truly true to yourself? Have you been true to the cause? Have you been true to what you said you want to happen? That is one thing that has to be examined. Okay? And understand the cause and effect. Interesting, I had this in my hand for the divine masculine. Remember, you do things, you cause things, you can have things react in the universe to you. Just be very cautious of it. Is this stuff making you, as Sean says, making you closer to coming in union with your twin? Remember your cause and effect. Why am I doing this? Why am I leaving this job? What is it going to be? What's the effect of it? Why am I with this person? Okay, what's the effect of it with me being in this situation with the third party energies? Is it feeding me? Am I drained? Am I financially drained? You know, cause and effect of you're thinking again, the energies of being bankrupt and not enough, lack of abundance, the lack mentality. I lack self-esteem. I lack money. I lack confidence. I lack value. I lack self-worth. No boundaries. Work on those areas to be that financial things. And they say the number 13, that's got to be put to death, and it's got to be a rebirth to that as well. Okay. I did say I was going to see one out of order. So again, clear, that was a selection, but just trying to see what's happening. It says here, and I meant to do this right now, you all are just quite a pair. It means two. Room for just two, okay? You're just expressing in a different way. One apple is red, one apple is green. Same thing, but we both apples. But one's whatever energies that they're housing or they're showing up as, but we're quite the pair. Very unique, uniquely put together, uniquely designed. And understand, as you all being pairs, again, like the left foot, the right foot, you know, I think about gym shoes. And you always know that, again, when you got gym shoes on, they both look the same. But when we get to walking, one makes one step in front, the other one stays stagnant. Then the other one, you stay stagnant on there, and that's your stable leg. And then you swing out with the other. So there's always going to be in that distribution of energies, one is going to be back, one is going to be forward, and then it switch. The other energy is going to be forward, the other one's going to be back. And that's what we have to find, that balance in understanding that, hey, sometimes that's what's going to happen. But again, the ideal situation is, with you being back, you always are going to push forward or make a move to go forward as well. And so that's what we have to remember, okay? All right then, if you're looking for a past life, even regression session too as well, remember to take advantage of my sale. I think it was $140, $140 that I was offering, and you want to check in your past life too to see what was going on. Make sure that you check that out, and go send me an email to Divineunisouls11 at gmail.com as well. And I think I might have changed it, or you can go to AshantiWellnessCenter.com. I think I changed it over there, but if not, hit me on my email too as well. Okay. All right then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you. Until next time, be talking to you real soon. Hopefully this was helpful to you, those of you all that's in third party energies or third energies, Either this person, place, a thing, that you found your answer and you see now what you got to work on for union. All right then. See you next time.